Hi, this is Beverly Meaux with the Bev Bob Homes team with Keller Williams. I am so excited because I'm bringing something unique to you today. I am stopping by a few of our home buyers, checking in on them, and asking them some questions. Well, a lot of questions. I'm interviewing them about the home buying process. And they're going to be giving a lot of insight, their personal perspective, and little tips, well, a lot of tips, to people who are looking to buy a home. So if you're a home buyer, watch this. If you're a home seller and you want to know what home buyers are thinking, watch this, whether or not you're with a real estate agent or trying to sell on your own. If you're a real estate agent, you really are going to want to watch this. And what about mortgage folks? And stagers a little bit too. But take a look at this interview, and you are going to walk away with at least one or two things to say, okay, let me remember that. So get ready and come with me. Okay, how long ago did we buy a home?
So we purchased March 29. This one. Actually, no, it's March 27th.
That's what I was about to say, 20. Yeah.
March 27th.
I'm thinking of Tasha's birthday.
Yeah. March 27th, 2013. So
Is when you purchased a home. So now it's over a year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just over a year.
Yeah.
What did you wish you knew about buying a home that you know now?
That we wouldn't have it for probably 2 years.
That it takes that long to find a home.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, why? What was the process of what caused that to happen?
I think it was more of us, like the financial piece of what we could afford, and then it flipped to we could afford more, but we still wanted the short sale with the 2-family, so then we ended up with a single family.
Not a short sale.
Not a short sale.
So nothing of what you started out with at all?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
At first we wanted 2-family.
Now what made you think that though? What made you decide on 2-family?
Income.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what about all these different home shows? Did that help you, or what were you going for? You got advice from family and friends, or online? How did you search?
Oh,
okay.
What Sally Mae wanted of mine? She kind of geared us in that direction.
Oh, goodness. Okay, we're going to get in trouble on this one. Okay.
No, but I think that, having an extra income is what we really wanted. So we figured that was the way to go, to get a 2-family, the easiest way to get extra money.
So did you end up finding a real estate agent first, or the type of house and a list of homes you wanted to look for first?
I think we found a real estate agent first. We had an idea of what we wanted. Because when we picked the agent, they gave us a list of what we should have before we met.
Okay.
So we knew what we wanted and what we wanted to look for, but then they kind of reeled us in to give us, the reality of a short sale and things like that.
Right. So how did you pick your agent?
We were referred to.
And that was it for you? You only needed a referral, or did you feel that you wanted to interview quite a few other agents, and you were comfortable?
I think it was like, I'm sorry.
I think it's pretty much based on how we felt when we met the person. If we didn't get a good vibe, then we probably would have moved on. But once we met our realtor, we clicked, so we didn't need to move on, so we stuck with that person.
Okay. And what about picking the homes? You said your real estate agent gave you, so Bob was giving you a list of all the different things. And did you also go online, or you were just following what he was giving you?
I think we went online, so we mostly followed what he gave me.
And nightly I was on.
Yeah.
It was like after our job, searching. Hey, you see this one? Look at this one. Did Bob send this to you? No, send this to him. So it was a little bit of us doing our research, and if we did find something, because I think we're just very anxious, to find something, and if we did, we sent it to him, and as well as he would give us listings.
Then were you surprised by how the homes looked compared to what you saw online, or was that?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh my.
Why?
There's a home that I think we call the dungeon,
Yeah.
because it literally it was scary. And then you go downstairs and there's like these little cubby holes. Maybe like gnomes live there. Like it was just scary, but it didn't look like that in the picture. So it was just very deceiving. Some of the homes weren't clean. Some of them had locked doors. So it was like, but it was a secret.
Some of them had secret people taking showers.
Oh, that was weird.
You walked into someone taking a shower?
I ran.
We all ran.
But I ran first.
We all ran.
So now, wait a minute now. That leads into the next one. So what would you tell sellers, about getting their home ready, for sale?
Man. So the prep work. One, it would be ideal if you were not there.
Okay.
If you were, not to be in the shower.
Yeah.
I think definitely if you're going to present something to sell, it should be presentable. A lot of times we went in and some of the houses were messy, and it just appeared as if no effort was put into actually marketing the house.
Did that matter to you as far as pricing, or if you would keep it on the list or not?
Definitely.
Yes.
I mean, because you want to try to vision yourself there, and I think we can look past certain things, but there are certain things that's just like, we didn't even know if they really wanted to sell the house because it was that bad, or like doors were locked. But it's like, but I want to buy it, and I don't know what's behind this door.
Right.
Yeah, we went into a couple of houses and certain doors were shut, and if we can't see the house, then how are we even to make a informed decision as to whether or not this is the place for us? So, those are a couple of things to keep in mind. If you're selling the house, actually, have it on display.
Right. So what about people who are buying a house for the very first time, and they're online or they're reading all the books, all the stories, and getting all the information? What advice would you give them to be prepared for, or something that kind of surprised you?
It doesn't always look like the picture. Things are staged for a reason, but then you have to still be realistic that it may not, like they may have took angles different to make things look bigger or smaller, to gear towards the seller. So you have to be realistic in that.
I mean, I think when you have to start with an open mind. If you have a certain expectation, it may not be met, and you may get disappointed. So I think you just have to go into it with a very open mind, have some idea of what it is that you need and would like, but realize that you may not necessarily get everything unless you're doing custom build homes.
Did you care about the whole pre-approval and the mortgage process, or were you surprised of how much you could afford or not afford, or does people fight against that?
Go ahead.
I think we kind of knew what we could afford. Like, we didn't go based off what they told us, because if we did, we would be paying more, and we didn't want to do that. So we kept it based on what we wanted to pay, and then we just, like, whatever extra was, it was like, well, we don't need that. We didn't want to overextend ourselves.
Those apps, those bankrate.coms are those apps that actually help you calculate a mortgage. We did all that ahead of time, so from our perspective, we knew what we could afford before we got it pre-approved. That was just a formality. So if you do the research and you know exactly what you could afford, regardless of what's on paper, you know exactly how to approach it based on what the going rate is, and also what price house you're looking at.
So you feel, because some people feel the mortgage calculators online kind of messed them up, but and sometimes if they had taxes or whatever, but you feel it was okay.
I think as long as you know the taxes, the average tax for the area you're looking at, you know the price of the home, you get a rough estimate for homeowner's insurance, then you're pretty much able to make somewhat of a close, you're able to go within the ballpark of what you'd be paying monthly. So for us, it wasn't really, it didn't blindside us when we saw the figures in the end.
Okay. You talked a little bit about mortgage. Tell me about home inspections and attorneys. How did that work out for you?
We did that based all on referrals from our realtor.
Okay.
So we got the lawyer. We stuck with her throughout the whole process of almost buying 2 houses. And we got the inspector from her?
No. I think it was a combination, but it's more. I think it's more Bob.
Yeah.
They all knew the same people.
But I think
But it was, I think, primarily Bob.
What surprised you, or did anything surprise you about home inspection, or did it go the way you thought it was, or negotiating home inspection issues?
I think that they followed through with everything that we wanted. I mean, they had asbestos downstairs, and they didn't. It wasn't a fight. It was just like, okay. That shocked me that they were so willing to do it. I thought it was gonna be a problem.
Good.
And then with the inspectors, as you know, I guess again going back to buying the house, it wasn't every single, because it's not an empty house. So you have to be mindful that there may be things that come up that you can't see while you know searching for a home, that even the inspector may not be able to catch. And hopefully it's minimal.
Right.
But overall, I think for us, we did have one inspector first who the response time wasn't good, so we got a different inspector.
Right.
So if there was a point where we weren't comfortable with something, then you know Bob would say, I'll get another guy. You know, so that was helpful for us to say, okay, if we weren't comfortable with one aspect or the other in the process, we could adjust.
Anything surprise you about home ownership? Lesson learned that you would tell someone when they're looking?
When they're looking, or even when they are already
Both.
purchased?
Both. All right.
Well, when you're looking, be patient, because initially your thoughts may change. If it doesn't, fine, then still be patient in the end, because you have to think that this is somewhere you're going to be potentially for a very long time. And you don't want to get up every day not liking where you are and not be able to call it home. So I would say that while you're looking, to be patient, so you could get, you know, the major things that you're looking for. And in terms of once you're ready to purchase, when you do find it, I think if there's any work that's done on the house by the previous owners, like recent work, like roof work, or anything major, if there any documentation, I know they usually give disclosures, but if there's any documentation, like any receipts or who did the work, it would be helpful, because I know that when we came, there were a couple of things that we wanted to find out. Luckily, we had a good relationship, so to speak, with the previous owner, so they would tell us a couple of things. But I would say if there are any receipts or anything that that could be given to the new owners, it would be helpful in, you know, keeping up, so to speak, with any work that was done. That's for me.
Great.
I'd say don't fall in love so quickly. Because one day it's there, the next day it's not. Sometimes you fall in love with the picture, like, I just want to see it, and then by the time it's time to go, it's gone.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Good. That was so easy.